Some nights, the silence is louder than noise. It presses against your chest. It asks questions you don't want to answer. What am I doing with my life? Why does everything feel stuck? Why does everyone else seem to move forward while I stay here? Arjun sat on the edge of his bed, staring at the floor. Not crying, not angry, just tired. The kind of tired sleep doesn't fix. His phone buzzed. Another message from a friend, a promotion photo, a wedding invitation, a big announcement. He locked the screen, not because he didn't care, but because it hurt too much to pretend he was okay. Arjun was 28, old enough to feel behind, young enough to still hope, quietly. He had dreams once, big ones. But now, they felt embarrassing, unrealistic, like something meant for braver people. Every morning looked the same: wake up late, rush to work, sit at a desk that didn't excite him, come home exhausted, without knowing why. He wasn't failing dramatically. He was failing slowly. And that was worse. At night he'd promise himself things. Tomorrow I'll start. Tomorrow I'll change. Tomorrow I'll be better. Tomorrow never came. One evening, after another long day, Arjun stood in front of the mirror. He didn't recognize the man staring back. Not because he looked different, but because the fire was gone. The belief was gone. He whispered something he'd never said out loud before. I don't think I can do anything big anymore. That sentence settled into his bones, and for the first time, he stopped dreaming. But sometimes, life doesn't change when everything breaks. Sometimes, it changes when something small shifts. The change didn't come from a speech, or a book, or a miracle. It came from exhaustion, pure exhaustion. One night, Arjun sat alone at his desk, scrolling aimlessly, not looking for motivation, just trying to escape his own thoughts. He stumbled across a simple line someone had posted. You don't need a big plan. You need a small start. He almost laughed. Small start? That's it? After all this pain? But something about it stayed. Not inspired him, not excited him, just stayed. The next morning, Arjun didn't wake up early. He didn't meditate. He didn't journal. He just did one thing, one small thing. He made his bed, slowly, messily, without any meaning attached. And nothing magical happened. The sky didn't open. His life didn't improve. But when he came back that evening, the bed was still made, and for a brief second, he felt control. The next day, he did it again. Then he added something else. 5 minutes of walking outside. That's it. No goals, no pressure. Just 5 minutes. Some days he skipped it. Some days he argued with himself. What's the point? This won't change anything. People succeed by doing more. But deep down, doing nothing had already proven it didn't work. Weeks passed. Nothing dramatic, no success stories, just quiet effort. Then came the bad days. The days when work crushed him, when his boss criticized him, when friends stopped calling. Those days were dangerous, because quitting felt logical. One evening, Arjun sat on his bed again. Same spot, same silence. He thought, see, this isn't working, I'm still here. His hand hovered over his phone, ready to fall back into old habits. But then he noticed something small. His room was cleaner, his breathing was calmer, his body felt slightly stronger. Nothing impressive, but different. And that scared him more than failure, because if small things were working, it meant he had no excuse to stop. Internal conflict. What if I try and still fail? What if this takes years? What if I'm too late? The questions didn't leave, but neither did the steps. Arjun started adding one more thing: 10 minutes a day learning a skill he once loved. Not to be great, not to be successful, just to remember how it felt. Some days were awful. He was bad at it, rusty, slow. It reminded him of everything he'd lost. But he kept going, not because he was confident, but because stopping hurt more now. Months passed, still no breakthrough, still no applause. Just progress so small. No one noticed, except him. One night something shifted, not outside, inside. He realized something dangerous. He wasn't waiting for motivation anymore. He was moving without it. And that's when life started responding, quietly. But to prove to yourself, you're still moving. because one day you'll look back and realize that tiny step you almost skipped changed everything. Maybe your small step today can change your entire life.